Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's final video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the 10 to 14 days for today's final video. Day 10 will take us to the 10th of November, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with GFS and ECM ensembles. May run around a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at the CFS B2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. That gets us into the last stages of November, and if all of that wasn't enough, we will bring you up to date with all of the latest developments with Storm Ciaran, so hang around for that in the first part of the video. So please like, share and subscribe on all of today's videos and content. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. We need to put on around 80 subscribers to get ourselves to 17.2k, so if you could give us a sub and tell your friends and family to subscribe, that would be amazing and incredible. Thank you so much everybody for doing that for GavsWeatherVids. The first 2 videos released today, by the way, were 6 UK weather forecast. I've also released extended EC 30-day forecast for the UK and the rest of Europe as well. Extended European Outlook was released this morning. Please like, share and subscribe on all today's videos and content. Thank you so much everybody. Right, let's start off with weather warnings from the UK Met then. So for Storm Ciaran, well, we've got yellow warning today for Northern Ireland for rain. We've got another one for tomorrow for Scotland, Northern Ireland, and these ones down here across southern counties are the beginnings of Storm Ciaran later on in the day. And then of course we have got these warnings for Thursday, which includes yellow rain warnings all over the place, and 2 amber warnings. So we've got an amber warning here for southern coastal counties and into far southeastern corner. Very strong winds associated with Storm Ciaran. They disrupt travel, utilities, and cause some structural damage. And there's also an amber warning, no, that's that one. There's also an amber warning just there, which is for South and West Wales and southwestern England. That was valid until 1 PM tomorrow. Very strong northwest winds associated with Storm Ciaran could disrupt travel, utilities, and may cause some structural damage. So that warning expires at 1 PM on Thursday. And then the second warning, which is this one, that expires at 8 PM on Thursday. So clearly it's the southwest that gets it worse, or gets it first, I should say, through the morning. Remember, strong winds transferring along the south coast, which is what we've been discussing in the videos anyway. So that just confirms, you know, the idea that the strong winds start in the southwest and then transfer eastwards along the south coast, finishing in that far southeast corner. This is the fact chart. This is the interpretation of models by forecasters at the UK Met. So this is for midnight Wednesday, when we've got the developing air low pressure will become Storm Ciaran down to southwest approaches, heading to midnight on Thursday. You can see that system sweeping in from off the Atlantic. The strongest winds always on the southern side of that low, but there is a wraparound of very strong winds as well on the western side of the low. So, you know, looking pretty stormy there as we go into the overnight period Wednesday into Thursday. And then to midday Thursday, well, big old dartboard then that Storm Ciaran sat over top of the country. Again, strongest winds on the southern side of the low, on the southern side, which included from transferring through the English Channel and along the south coast as well. 72 hour time, the low may begin to fill and move off into the North Sea, but there is more low pressure downstream waiting in the wings, and that low pressure gradually starts easing towards us on Friday and as we head on into Saturday, where you've guessed it, more wet, windy weather coming in from Afghanistan, though nowhere near as storming as it will be on Wednesday night and through Thursday. So let's have a look at a couple of high-res models for the wind gust forecast, and this is arpege. So we'll start off with that. So already quite blowy through tomorrow morning, actually, across many parts of the country. Will be quite wet, windy overnight tonight, but it's really late on Wednesday to Thursday, but the strongest winds arrive in the south. So initially, the first push of winds is through the southwest along the south coast and in the Channel. We've got gusts going up to 80 miles an hour, and then even stronger winds develop late on towards breakfast time on Thursday. So that's when things are at their worst, really, I think, through the course of Thursday morning. Again, 80 mile an hour gusts in the southwest, and through the English Channel we've got gusts going in excess of 100 miles an hour there. There's 103 miles an hour being predicted there through the English Channel and onto the north coast of France. And also 90-mile-an-hour gusts tugging into extreme southeastern corner as well. So through the Straits of Dover, for example, we've got 90-mile-an-hour gusts pushing through. That will bring severe disruption to those areas. And then another push of very strong winds back into southwest again later on in the afternoon, actually, or later on in the morning, when we see the gusts again going back to 80 miles an hour in that southwestern corner. And those very strong winds then transfer right way inland. So that's as the low pressure Storm Ciaran begins to ease towards the North Sea coast. Then we find the strongest winds on the wraparound pushing through England, Wales. Again, gusts 50, 60 miles an hour, gale force gusts there quite widely across many central southern parts. Excuse me, I've got a cough back again today. It's like a boomerang. It just keeps coming back, so I got it back in the, not in the throat, but like in the top of my chest today. Anyway, 60 mile an hour gusts again, quite well inland there through Thursday afternoon. They transfer through the Midlands into East Anglia, for example. They are gale force gusts, as I say. Things finally start to calm down overnight, Thursday into Friday. That's our pairs. This is how the DWD model is looking. Again, we get the first push of winds late on Wednesday evening to that far southwestern corner, and then along the south coast, and then an even stronger push of winds later on in the night through Thursday morning. The worst out looks like it's more down towards northern parts of France, but will impact the Channel Islands, so 90 mile an hour gusts there in the Channel Islands and into northern parts of France, up through the Straits of Dover as well. I think we're seeing gusts in excess of 80 miles an hour through there. Eventually things begin to ease down though overnight, but I think DWD is a little bit further south with a very strong of winds. Nevertheless, pretty severe through the southwest, in the Channel, some southeastern coast as well, in gusts in excess of 80 miles an hour. And then we've got UKV, so this is how UKV is looking for Wednesday evening. Again, the strong winds there down in the southern coastal regions, then even stronger push of winds as we go into Thursday morning, so that is 8 a.m. on Thursday morning. 70 to 90 mile an hour winds there from the far southwest of Wales into southwest England, excess of 90 miles an hour in the Channel, and sort of 17 miles an hour along the south coast there potentially. And then 80 mile an hour gusts kind of affecting the south coast and begin to push into that far southeast corner as well. So 80 to 90 mile an hour gusts through the English Channel and through the Straits of Dover and so on. And then again, the strongest wind transfer out into the North Sea. So basically all still on course. I think it's been corrected southwards again a little bit compared to yesterday. So you remember last night when we did the live stream, there had been a movement northwards of the strongest of the winds by a couple of hundred miles. I think that's been pushed back southwards again by a couple of hundred miles on this morning's model run. So there is still a little bit of uncertainty about the exact track of this and just how far northwards those extremely severe winds get, but it does look very significant anyway still for those far southern counties. And elsewhere you're talking about just generally wet windy weather, gale force gusts through Wales, Midlands through Thursday, and there will be lots of heavy rain with this as well, which I haven't really spoken about, but there will be a lot of wet weather as well. So let's go back to that and have a quick look at the rain with UKV. So see the rain piling into the southwest there late or on Wednesday evening, and as we go through the overnight period, well, thoroughly wet weather sweeping up from the southwest by midnight, affecting many parts of England and Wales. And then that rain is on in many parts of the country throughout the night and into Thursday. So this is Thursday morning, particularly focused on England and Wales. It's a little bit showery in nature, so there will be some pockets of dry weather, but a lot of rain around overnight Wednesday and through Thursday as well. And some places will probably keep that rain going all day on Thursday, particularly through Wales and Midlands, parts of east and north east. You notice it's getting back into east and south east of Scotland again as well with that. And then things finally sort of calm down as we go into into Friday and things dry up, and then Saturday brings more heavy rain in across many parts of the country, followed by lots of showers. Right, so that's Storm Ciaran, brought you up to date on that. And as I say, it's really with the strongest of winds for the far southwest, again in the English Channel along the south coast and in the southeast later on as well. So please take care, anybody down there. Right, moving on to the rest of the 10-14 day. This is how things look in the tropical Atlantic. One interest area, this yellow X just here, that is disturbance 1, with a 30% chance of cyclone formation in the next 2 days, a 70% chance of cyclone formation in the next 7 days, a high chance cyclone formation. That could well be our next tropical development. And we'll keep you posted. That's a little bit, you notice this season most of the tropical storms have been developing in this sort of area and have been sort of staying away from like the Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico and this southeastern North America. That's a little bit further toward the Caribbean, isn't it? That disturbance area. So, oops, that's got wrong. So it makes you wonder whether that one might be something that could go in that direction or that direction. Or that direction, etc. That might affect, like, the areas have been relatively quiet so far this season. But we'll wait and see what happens with that. Central temperature is now down to 12.2, 1.7 degrees above 61, 1990 average. That is provisional to yesterday, to the 30th of October. I think that's going to stay there. I think that's about where we'll finish with BCT for this October. Another very mild, if not quite warm October, especially because it was in the opening days. Things have been a lot cooler since mid-month. These were GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles. The next couple of winds on at Braintree today in Essex. The red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Braintree. About average at the moment with the upper air temperatures generally sticking around average over the next couple of weeks as well. Not anything particularly dramatic going on there with the upper air temperature. They're very close to normal, but in an unsettled pattern at this time of the year, average upper air temperature means it'll probably be a little bit above average down on the surface, because we won't get cold and frosty nights. Precipitation wise, lots of rainfall spikes to come over the next week. A little bit drier for a couple of days early next week maybe, and then we're back under it again perhaps as we go through in the second week of November. There might be a bit of a drying trend but showing up here though around the middle part of November. Now that's a very, very long way off. No, it's in the extended range and it's therefore unreliable. But a little bit of a drying trend is definitely showing up there. If we have a look at sea level pressure on time, you see that there is a bit of a rising pressure being indicated here. So we're starting, of course, with very low pressure at the moment. That takes up to bonfire night. From then onwards, there is a gradual lift up in the pressure with the ensemble there. Albeit a lot of scatter, so plenty of low pressure model runs there. But these are slightly higher pressure model runs up here. So we might start getting some sort of ridging going in the second week of November. As far as snow runner is concerned, absolutely nothing doing there. Not much sign of snow for Braintree anyway in the next couple of weeks. Temperature anomalies from the 31st of October to 8th of November, a little bit above average, not a particularly big deviation. And precipitation anomalies from 31st of October to 8th of November coming out wetter than normal, particularly for England and Wales. The latest from that from earthnullschool.net shows that we've got another area of low pressure heading in, actually, so that could be bringing wet and windy weather in with it overnight tonight. Okay, let's start going through chart data. Remember, this is our latest UK Met Europe run. He's looking for midnight on Friday. Storm Ciaran then off the east coast. So very wet and windy weather around Storm Ciaran, of course, and as the low moves off into the North Sea, that will take the strongest of the winds over towards the eastern side of the country, albeit the worst of winds, though, have now gone off into the low countries into western parts of Germany on the southern side of Ciaran. A little bit of a break for Friday, but the next area of low is waiting in the wings. That pushing in Friday into Saturday, or Saturday and Sunday, I should say, bringing lots of rain in with it for Saturday. And then we go on into the beginning of next week, into rather showery flow of another low there. Time to push in midnight on Tuesday. I can't again with low pressure just off the east coast for Friday. Strong winds and heavy rain wrapped around that area with low pressure. Bit of a break for Friday and then low pressure back in for Saturday. Bringing lots of wind rain in with it into the beginning of next week with showery and rather cool bed. Another low punching through Monday, Tuesday will bring some quite wet weather in with a slight transient ridge there Monday into Tuesday, or that's for midday Tuesday, slightly transient ridge, but the next low is downstream. That's as we get to this icon. But GFS midnight run, again with Storm Ciaran, more or less over top of the country, just easy way to North Sea, midnight on Friday. And then beyond that, we've got the next low waiting in the wings as heading towards Saturday. That'll bring lots of heavy rain pushing through with it. Then we go cool and showery through the early part of next week. Westerly winds with showers and or maybe some long spells of rain as well. And then the low pressure centred in the North Sea through the middle part of next week, easy over towards Denmark, winds pulling in to a cool or chilly northeasterly. So a bit dry around the middle part of next week, but also going a bit colder as well. Maybe that could deliver our first widespread overnight frost of the season. The second half of next week, that's day 10, with a little bit of a ridge starting to build out to our north and west. So go under a slight little ridge of high pressure there for a couple of days. Doesn't last long. The next low that is starts punching in as we go through the weekend to the 11th and the 12th of November. Back to ridge though after that. So again, that brings dry weather back. Actually, we'll head up towards the middle part of November for low pressure again breaks that ridge and starts pushing through. So the second week of November, seeing a little bit of a duel there between like higher pressure and lower pressure. So drier and wetter conditions alternating. Probably quite cool and chilly often with that as well, especially under those ridges. But GFS 6Z, again with that low off the east coast on Friday. Very strong winds are wrapped around that low, bringing heavy rain and maybe some gale force winds. Well, another low coming in into Saturday. That brings some heavy rain in with it for the start of the weekend. Back to showery conditions for Sunday. Quite cool northwesterly winds then as well. For the early part of next week, another low pushing through by Tuesday. That brings some quite wet weather in with it too. Heading up toward day 10, then we start getting a ridge building out to the northwest, but low pressure moves into the North Sea. Winds start turning into a northeasterly direction, so going dry, but a little bit colder perhaps as we get towards day 9 and 10, possibly a return of some overnight frost then. And then the next low sort of punches through as we go on into weekend 11th to 12th of November. That brings wet and windy weather in with it. And we aimed up with the GFS 6Z, well, more or less where we are right now, actually back to square one, quite deep areas of low pressure coming off Atlantic, very cyclonic, so looking cool and really unsettled with that as well. If you enjoyed the video, please can you like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. Why not drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. And don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much everyone for doing that for us. As I say, 80 subscribers are going to get us to 17.2k. So if you could give us a sub and tell your friends about to subscribe, it would be amazing and it would be incredible. And we will thank you so very much for doing that. Okay, but GM, again, with low pressure in the North Sea on Friday. Strong winds are wrapped around the area of low pressure, bringing plenty of unsettled weather in with it. Saturday pushes another low pressure in. Off Atlantic, lots of wet, windy weather coming in with that, although not the severe gales that we're expecting, of course, with Storm Ciaran. And then into the beginning of next week, just rather showery and cooler. Actually, with winds turning into more of a northwesterly or almost northerly direction by the middle of next week. So that would start to turn things drier, but it would turn things cooler or colder as well. And then the next low is back in with the GEM by day 10. So just a couple of drier, colder days in the middle of next week, possibly with a frosty night Wednesday into Thursday, but by Thursday to Friday, we're back under the cosh with those areas of low pressure once more. And then the ECM looks like that again. The low pressure is in the North Sea at midnight on Friday. Strong winds wrapped around that with showery bursts. Another low moves through Saturday into Sunday. That will bring heavy rain in with it for Saturday. Very cool, showery district early part of next week. Turns a little bit colder actually by mid of next week with winds in from the northwest, albeit it should be a bit drier. Second half next week, this area of low pressure starts dropping in from the north. So we end up looking very cyclonic, roughly where we are right now, but perhaps a bit cooler or colder with that. It's quite interesting when low pressure starts dropping in. So you can see at on Wednesday, the 8th of November, next Wednesday, the low pressure is up here around Greenland and, the far north of the Atlantic. 24 hours on, that low pressure is deepening, but it's pushing to the south of Iceland, and another 24 hours on, the low pressure actually dropped down into the UK and Ireland. So the low pressure is essentially decoupled from its typical position, which would be up here. It's decoupled from there and gone southwards. That's because the jet stream is black line, of course, that is on a northwest-southeast alignment, and we're actually on the cold side of the jet there. When the jet stream does that, especially got a ridge pushing northwards, that displaces the low and moves it in that sort of direction. Those diving low type patterns are quite interesting, because if they carry on into the cold season, into December, January, February, etc., then those diving lows can bring snow with them, especially on the northern and eastern side of those areas of low pressure. It's still a little bit too early to get much in the way of wintry weather with that. The area isn't cold enough either to the north or over the country. But if that was to carry on for another month, that kind of pattern with low pressures decoupling from Greenland, Iceland, diving into west of Europe, if that was to continue into December or January, for example, then things could start getting really quite interesting with that. And it is a sign that the atmosphere is behaving a little bit unusually as well, by the way, when that happens. Right, okay, so let's have a quick look at the precipitation forecast based on the ECM run from TomEdShow.com. Here comes tonight's rain, heading in from the southwest, and further wet weather to come with that. But hold on. There we go again. I'm so sorry, everybody. As I said, the cough's back again today. So, having said it's too early for much winter weather, actually that rain tonight and tomorrow does turn to snow as it bumps into cold air across Scotland. I've then got Storm Ciaran, of course, bringing the deluge up from the south Wednesday night into Thursday, and those severe gale force winds, maybe storm force winds as well in the far south. That eventually moves off into the North Sea. We're left with very showering, blustery conditions for the end of the week. And then Saturday we do it all over again, more wet weather in from the Atlantic. This time the rain particularly focused on England and Wales, though. And then on into Sunday, where it's cool and showery there. That lasts into next week. And then we get that low pressure dropping in from the north. Notice there's a little bit of snow coming through with that, especially in northern areas, and followed by some wintry showers into the north and west. Up to day 10 chart, a few wintry showers in the west, otherwise mainly dry for central, northern and eastern regions. These are the options on the table within the ECM Ensembles day 4. Day 10 gets us to the 10th of November. 12 members of the ECM Ensembles with high pressure. Well, let's highlight up. High pressure ridging in from the southwest. That's a little bit of a change. That's a little bit of a break in the very unsettled weather. The low pressure is up towards Iceland and Greenland. And then we've got 12, including the operational run, with the trough of low pressure diving southwest, driving in that direction. So that is northwest, southeast, isn't it? With high pressure in the Atlantic pushing northwards. So I explained about that. We've got 10 just here again with low pressure across West Europe. High pressure out to the northwest. I suspect that low's probably gone in that direction as well. We've got 9 much flatter. So that's like low pressure north of Scotland. High pressure maybe Atlantic. So that's more of a flat westerly type flow. And then we've got 8 with low pressure over top of the country. Most of the options seem to involve low pressure. This option here with the ridge actually looks to be pretty isolated within the ECM ensembles. Most of them are looking really quite unsettled at day 10. And then in 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. Gets the 15th of November, mid-month, 11 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure to our southwest. So that should bring mostly dry, albeit perhaps quite chilly weather. 9 with low pressure to the northeast of Scotland, high pressure southwest of the country, so winds are coming in from the northwest. If that could be a little bit on the cool and showery side. Another 9 with low pressure to the north, high pressure down towards France, winds in from the west, that's unsettled and westerly. 8 with low pressure to the east, high pressure down to the southwest, that could be rather cool and a little bit showery as well. We've got 8 with low pressure to the north, high pressure to the south, winds are flat and westerly, and then we've got 6 again with lots and lots of low pressure dominating and a little bit of blocking away to the north as well. So quite inconclusive when we get to 2 weeks out. We might get some higher pressure ridging in. If we do, I suspect it will probably be quite temporary though. Right, so CFS B2, and then we're done. Been an epic video, hasn't it? How long have we been here for? So, 25 minutes. We had a lot to say about Storm Ciaran mode, didn't we? Right, okay, so just CFS mode, we finished. So, beta 500 millibar high times breakdown in tweet periods. The first week period takes from the 31st of October, 6th of November. Low pressure dominates in the week ahead, so we'll be very, very unsettled. Week 2. It's going to be the 7th to the 13th of November still. Lots of low pressure in control. Week 3 is going to be the 14th to the 20th of November. And the low pressure fest goes on then. And then finally, week 4 is going to be the 23rd, 27th of November. Low pressure still in control, but notice high pressure over Scandinavia. It's quite a strong Scandinavian high, so there's a bit of a battle going on there. The Scandinavian high will be trying to bring in easterly winds below pressure, trying to keep wind in from the Atlantic, of course. And that low pressure might be starting to go in like a northwest-southeast direction. So that might start to take the energy underneath the ridge. If it does that, then it could well start getting the wind into the east there. But as it's 4 weeks away, too far away to have any confidence in it. Just something to watch at the moment. Okay, we're done. If you've enjoyed the video, please do you like, share and subscribe. Make sure everybody to do that. Drop a comment. Let's say what you think about this and all of our videos. And don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids. We thank you so much, everybody. To about 80 subscribers will get us to 17.2k. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing this for GavsWeatherVids. Right, just coming up tomorrow, we're going to have a 6 a.m. UK weather forecast, and we might do a little update, bringing you up to date on Storm. Well, we're going to be 10 to 14 day, actually. Of course, there is tomorrow. No, there'll be like a video upload for the 10 to 14 day about bringing up to date Storm Ciaran. And then the reason for that, no live stream tomorrow, because at 7 p.m. we're actually going to premiere. Yes, we're going to do a premiere of the first instalment of the Christmas countdown. Now, we've been doing Christmas sneaky peekies through October, done 4 of those, but now it's time to get on with the Christmas countdown official. Always begins on the 1st of November. So, yes, the Christmas countdown will begin tomorrow. We'll premiere at 7 p.m. Terry Scold's November forecast will be coming up soon as well. I don't know if that'll be tomorrow or if it will be Thursday, but that will be on the way soon also. So lots and lots to look forward to. I shall see you on the red carpet at 7 p.m. tomorrow, hopefully, for the first installment of the Christmas countdown. But for this video and for today's videos, that's all now. And thanks for watching.